There were only about 60 students in my grade, and classes were very personal and intimate. And I found it really easy to ask questions, get feedback, feel supported by my teachers. They were always able to help after hours, and they knew us well individually.
I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private and independent schools to bring you insights into school programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administration. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
What I appreciated most about Hudson was how much it helped me prepare for university. I actually transferred to Hudson from a neighboring public school after grade 10 because I was looking for something more academically supportive for my last 2 years of high school, and Hudson really delivered on that front. First, I really appreciated the small class sizes. There were only about 60 students in my grade, and classes were very personal and intimate. And I found it really easy to ask questions, get feedback, feel supported by my teachers. They were always able to help after hours, and they knew us well individually. Another thing I appreciated was how closely Hudson's school structure really matched the university structure that I would later encounter. We used a lot of laptops and digital tools in our daily lessons, and we also took notes on them. Yeah, and that might sound small, but it made such a big difference in helping me feel more comfortable with that kind of tech central learning that I'd later encounter at U of T in those lecture style classrooms. Another big thing is that Hudson ran on a trimester system. So it kind of mimicked how university semesters would work in terms of the first and second trimester being the fall and the winter. And exams happened before the winter break, so around Christmas time. And it really got me used to the pace and formatting that I'd see later at U of T. I'd say Hudson has a really welcoming and community oriented culture. One of the ways that they build community is through the Hudson Houses. That's where every student in the upper school is part of a house, and it's a fun way to connect through things like intramural sports, spirit events. We do a bunch of things throughout the year, and I was part of the Great Lakes. It honestly made the school year feel more interactive and exciting, and it really encouraged me to meet a lot of new people, not just in my grade, but in the upper school. And Hudson's values are really centered on academic curiosity and support. It's a school that encourages you to take your education seriously, but in a way that is very self motivated rather than just a pressured environment. I was surrounded by other like minded students who were also really motivated and academic, which created a really focused and supportive environment. Because it's a smaller school, there is a real sense of community. You're not just a number. People know you, see you every day, check in on you, and they genuinely care about how you're doing. The teachers actually make a huge effort to be approachable, and they're always willing to help, whether it's extra support after school or just talking through an assignment or a set of problems, even personal things, honestly. Um, and as far as culture and values, Hudson's values really go beyond academics. They emphasize a lot of character growth and community involvement, as well as like through the clubs and extracurriculars. I was also part of the soccer team, and we had a co ed tournament, which was super fun. When I first transferred to Hudson for grade 11, I was mostly focused on my academics. I was looking for a place that could prepare me for university and help my grades, especially since I was coming from a much larger public school where I didn't really feel like I was getting the support that I needed. At the time, I mainly saw Hudson as a stepping stone, but I think over time, my perspective changed when I started to really appreciate how much this school emphasized the well rounded student, not just in the academics and the grades, but also in the habits and skills like problem solving, critical thinking, adaptability, time management, leadership. Leadership was a big one for me because I became a lot more confident and more comfortable leading group discussions, which I did struggle with in the past. Public speaking in front of larger class sizes. So I built a lot of leadership and public speaking skills with this more non judgmental, smaller space. So it truly made me enjoy my time in the classroom instead of kind of fear it, which I really appreciated. And looking back now, I realized that it wasn't just the school that helped me get into university. It gave me these very transferable habits and skills that I've definitely carried with me throughout my university years. And it really taught me a lot about myself and what I wanted to pursue academically. It showed me that I really, really liked bio. So, yeah. The school leadership at Hudson was always very approachable and really involved in the student life. I'd actually see the upper school principal at the time, Mr. Jack Babington, walking around the halls, stopping to talk to students, or checking in on events, which was pretty unheard for in my past larger scale public school. And I think that really made the environment feel more personal. And I always felt as if I had a question or a concern, I could always reach out and be heard. Guidance counselors were also very organized when it came to things like scheduling for communication and academic planning. I could just walk in and ask them a quick question. Um, and whether it was about academics or post secondary decisions, they'd kind of guide me through my options with their expertise and experience. Um, and so, yeah, it felt like the principals, heads, guidance, school leadership in general, all genuinely cared about creating a very positive and supportive experience for students. And you could see how passionate they were in making Hudson a place where students could succeed and enjoy their time. Hudson's academics were really well structured and focused. I appreciated how the trimester system really helped space out the courses, and it allowed us to really hone in on or dive deeper into fewer subjects at a time per semester. The classes were small, so the teachers could really tailor their teaching to the students. And I found that the use of tech was really helpful. We used laptops regularly to take notes and use online digital tools like Desmos, which made the learning feel very aligned with how things would look at in university. And overall, the curriculum definitely felt rigorous, but the support was always there. We had ample time to ask questions in class or after hours, and a lot of study groups. Hudson really puts a lot of emphasis on getting involved beyond the classroom, which I really appreciate. There is a range of clubs, sports, and a lot of leadership opportunities that are open to everyone in the upper school. I remember how easy it was to join things like the science club, and how encouraged we were to explore our different interests. There are, I think, over 25 clubs, and they range from things like math cafe to science club, and then to more casual hobby ones like chess club or Dungeons and Dragons. I think there's even a robotics club. And also, if you had an idea for a new club, teachers were really supportive in helping you start one. Events were also a big part of school life as well. Like we had Spirit Week, Halloween contests, the House Olympics, which were always fun, um, June Day. They were all really super fun, and they brought the whole school community together. And there were also fundraising events like the Terry Fox Walk, um, that also tied things like Pink Shirt Day and Pride Month. And it really felt like you were fundraising for something very meaningful within the community. And yeah, what I found really cool was the focus on leadership roles, and something that I do regret not exploring more of, whether it was through the House Council, the Student Council, or just being a Hudson ambassador. Students really got the chance to take initiative and build those leadership skills. The teachers at Hudson genuinely cared. Like you weren't just a number in the classroom. If you were struggling with a concept or just needed extra help on an assignment or some problems, they always made time. I also felt like they took our post secondary goals very seriously. They gave us a lot of advice. They wrote references, and they genuinely believed in their students. A lot of my past teachers in grade 11 and 12 encouraged me to apply for many scholarships as I was applying to post secondary programs, which I wouldn't have known about otherwise, um, which was great. I was so glad to get that sort of mentorship from teachers that kind of know more about the system than me. But yeah, they were always there to help. I found the students at Hudson to be very academically focused, but also supportive and down to earth. It's a small school, so you do get to know your peers pretty well. And it felt like we all had a shared passion for academia and also shared goals of doing well and preparing for university. The students at Hudson were, for the most part, very ambitious, but there wasn't this super competitive environment. And I think a lot of us came to Hudson because we wanted more for our education. So there was this shared drive to do well and grow, which was really refreshing. Um, there was also a very strong sense of community. Everyone looked out for each other. I mean, I was part of kind of my own study group, and we weren't afraid to ask for help or just collaborate on assignments and things like that. One thing that really stood out to me and that was unique about Hudson's student life was how diverse the student body was. A lot of the students I met were international students, and it was always so fascinating to hear their stories, and why they decided to come to Toronto for high school, what their journeys look like, and what their goals are after Hudson. And it made the school really feel like it had a global presence. And that diversity also brought a lot of different perspectives to class discussions and just to everyday student life. So, whether I was working on group projects or hanging out with someone during a lunch break, I learned a lot from people with completely different backgrounds. Hudson's location is great. It's in Midtown Toronto, so right in the heart of St. Clair West and Dufferin, which is a great, vibrant area. It's super accessible to by public transit. So I used to take the TTC or the streetcar to get there. And yeah, it was really convenient to get to school every day, and one of the reasons why I chose Hudson. And the school itself is tucked just off Dufferin and St. Clair, so just off of a main street, and it feels kind of like this quiet little hub that you walk into, even though you're right in the middle of the city. Um, yeah, super great lunch spots um, to go out and grab food and Tim Hortons. And the buildings itself, or the campus itself, is very modern and clean. You can tell you're in the Hudson area because there's a bunch of signs and that signature like blue everywhere. And yeah, the classrooms are very tech friendly. Um, yeah, and for the campus itself is very small and it feels super close knit. And I remember as a new student, it was quite easy to navigate, and I was able to find every classroom quite easily. Now that I've graduated from Hudson, I've started getting more involved in the alumni community, and it's been really nice to reconnect with others through the platform that we have, like Hudson College Connect, which basically allows us to post and kind of personally message fellow alumni. And also, we just got a Hudson Alumni Network LinkedIn group, which is super great. And it's such a great way to stay updated on what everyone's up to post grad. And it's also really helpful for networking, especially because so many alumni go into a wide range of fields. And yeah, I've definitely reached out to people who have gone in the bio realm and gone to U of T. So yeah, the alumni network is super super strong and such a great community to be involved in. So I briefly remember the admissions process. I started off by booking or going to the open house. And then once I decided I would want to apply to Hudson, um, I had to do an interview as part of the process, just to see if I'd be a good fit for the school. But honestly, it wasn't too stressful or intensive. It was more kind of a conversation, and the staff was super welcoming. And overall, the process was pretty smooth and straightforward in terms of transferring from my public school from grades 10 to 11. So, yeah, the admissions process is not too overwhelming, I'd say. I would say that the three reasons for recommending Hudson is due to the academic structure, the supportive environment, and the strong community of the school. First, the academic structure of the school really helps students get ready for university. The trimester schedule, the use of technology and laptops, and the smaller class sizes all gave me a feel for what post secondary lectures and education would look like. Second, would definitely be the supportive environment of the school. The teachers and higher level principals and guidance counselors, they're all super approachable and they genuinely want to see you do well and succeed, both academically, socially, and personally. Um, and third, I'd say is the strong, tight knit community feeling, and an overall balanced experience. I think there's a really good balance between academics, extracurriculars, and just the whole student life. And it encourages a lot of people to get involved in clubs, fundraising events, and just the school community itself. Yeah, so there's so many ways to get involved with the community and feel really connected.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.